Hey everyone. Today I'm going to start getting ready for the Super Bowl, which is next Sunday. And I have some sporting sections to go through, look for some articles. And I have a nice little book. It's actually a kid's book. We Are the Champions, Super Bowl. And it did come out a couple of years ago, so it's not completely up to date. But I thought I would do a little quiz for you. I will ask you 10 little trivia questions, and then at the end you can, I'll get you the answers. So, number 1, when was the first Super Bowl played? Number 2, so you can write them down, and if you get them all right, you get a prize. And no looking up on the internet. You just have to know it. You know it or you don't. Number 2, which team has won the most Super Bowls? Keep in mind, this is up to, I think, goes up to 2021 information. 3, a touchdown is worth how many points? Well, that's an easy one. 4, who gave the Super Bowl its name? 5, how long is a standard NFL football field? 6, how much does it cost to play a 30-second commercial during the Super Bowl? 7, how many wild card teams from each conference go to the playoffs? Of course, that has changed recently. 8, which 2 cities have hosted the most Super Bowls? 9, what are the 3 main women's football leagues in the United States? 10, which team has the NFL's only perfect season record? Excuse me. By the way, if you can see it on the TV, it's a few years back from when the 49ers played the Chiefs. Super Bowl 54, I think it was. And so you get to see Patrick Mahomes, since he's going to be playing Sunday again. Alright, so let's see. They have other little statistics like a timeline, all-time records. Here's some good trivia for you. Defensive back Paul Krause holds the record for the NFL's highest number of what? It's 81. Do you know what it is? Interceptions. Running back Emmitt Smith leads the league in rushing touchdowns. It's 164. This number is 298. It's for quarterback Brett Favre. It says leads the league in what? Do you know? It's the most career game day starts. 72,000. Oh my goodness. Okay, there's a record. 72,781. Drew Brees holds the record. Do you know what it is? Highest number of passing yards in football history. And then we have defensive end Bruce Smith is credited with the highest number of what throughout his career? He's got 200 of them. You ever guess? Sacks. That is a lot of smashing the quarterback. Got a little bit of Southwest. And it shows where they play, where their stadiums are. So anyway, that's the book. And it's called We Are the Champions. Super Bowl. So the Super Bowl is this Sunday in New Orleans. I think it's at 3, something like that. Of course, depending on your time zone. I think it's 3 o'clock Pacific. So this is just the last week's worth of papers. And this is from Tuesday the 28th. Of course, this is the Bay Area. This is the San Francisco Chronicle. So there's a lot of 49ers information. The Chiefs, of course, are looking for their third win in a row. Barkley has Eagles reloaded for a rematch. So the Chiefs are playing the Philadelphia Eagles. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and the Kansas City Chiefs are going for a three-peat in a Super Bowl rematch. This time, Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles have Saquon Barkley. Or Saquon, how does he say it? Saquon, I think it's Saquon Barkley. The Eagles and Chiefs will face off for the Lombardi Trophy for the second time in 3 years. Kansas City aims to become the first team to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. Each of these is special, Chiefs owner Clark Hunt said, after being handed the Lamar Hunt Trophy, which is named after his father. Now we get to do something that's never been done before. Chiefs Kingdom, we're heading to New Orleans to make history. Mahomes rallied the Chiefs to a 38-35 victory over the Eagles 2 years ago in Arizona and a 25-22 overtime win over San Francisco in Las Vegas last season. The 2-time Super Bowl NFL MVP Mahomes led Kansas City to a win over Josh Allen and the Bills in the AFC Championship game just on Sunday, eliminating Buffalo for the 4th time in 5 years. With girlfriend Taylor Swift watching on the field, smiling and nodding in approval, Kelce shouted, "Never satisfied, baby," and then sang a line from Get Down Tonight by Casey and the Sunshine Band. Of course, there's the whole Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift romance thing, getting in, mixing in with the football. Let's see. Earlier, the Eagles ran past the Washington Commanders 55-23 in the NFC title game behind 7 rushing touchdowns, including 3 apiece from Barkley and Hurts. It will be the 10th Super Bowl rematch and 5th within a 5-year span. AFC Championship. This is about the championship game over Buffalo. Everything looked oh so familiar at Arrowhead Stadium on Sunday night. Patrick Mahomes hoisting the AFC Championship trophy as confetti rained down. And Andy Reid hugging Chiefs owner Clark Hunt and Travis Kelce kissing Taylor Swift, grabbing the mic and imploring fans to party the night away. This time, Mahomes' arms and his legs, 245 passing yards and a touchdown, 2 more scores rushing, and some key stops by the Kansas City defense preserved a 32-29 victory over the Bills in the AFC Champion game. And this article here about the Philadelphia game over the Washington Commanders. Saquon Barkley. Barkley dashed 60 yards for a touchdown on Philadelphia's first play and finished with 118 yards and 3 scores. Jalen Hurts rushed for 3 touchdowns, and the Eagles soared into the Super Bowl with a win over the Commanders. Barkley says, "I came to Philly to be part of games like this. There's nothing better than a game where you can advance to the Super Bowl." The 55 points are the most any team has scored in a conference championship game since the 1970 merger. And there's some pictures from the games. There's Mahomes, Kelce there. So that they had in Cyrus paper. This is Wednesday the 29th. There is the playoffs brackets here. AFC round, NFC, it's the wild card round. Chiefs, Chargers, Texans, Steelers, Ravens, Broncos, Bills. Divisional round, Texans, Chiefs, Ravens, Bills. Championship game, Bills and Chiefs. And the NFC, wild card round, Lions, Vikings, Rams, Commanders, Buccaneers, Packers, and Eagles. Divisional round, Commanders, Lions, Rams, Eagles. Championship game, Commanders, Eagles. So now we've got the Chiefs and Eagles. 3:30 p.m. February 9th. So that's Pacific time. So if you're in the East Coast, it is 12:30. It's kind of early. Gives you all the Tush Push could play a big part in the title game. If the conference championships are any indication, some of the highest drama in the Super Bowl could come on the Tush Push, perfected by the Philadelphia Eagles and decrypted by the Kansas City Chiefs. The Eagles are so adept at their vaunted short yardage plays that the Commanders committed 4 penalties in the 4th quarter of the rout on Sunday. Kansas City's squeaker over Buffalo that sent the Chiefs to their 3rd Super Bowl turned early in the 4th quarter when they stuffed Bills quarterback Josh Allen on 4th and inches at midfield while trailing by a point. Or did they? Although it initially appeared to millions of viewers and at least one official that Allen got the nose of the football across the line, the call on the field was no gain and a turnover on downs, and a replay concurred. In Philadelphia, referee Sean Hochuli admonished the Commanders to stop their shenanigans or he'd award the Eagles a touchdown via an obscure regulation in the unsportsmanlike conduct section of the rule book. Sandwiched around Jonathan Allen lining up in the neutral zone and getting flagged for encroachment, linebacker Frankie Louvu mistimed his jump over both lines for encroachment penalties on successive plays in a desperate attempt to keep the Eagles out of the end zone. The 4 flags in a 5-play sequence put the ball within an inch of the goal line, and Hurts finally plowed into the end zone to give Philadelphia a 3-score lead. So this was quite controversial. Simply put, a team can't commit multiple fouls in an effort to prevent the score. So number 4 jumped the ball a couple of times. That was when the warnings came in. It's right there in Rule 12, Section 3, Article 2 of the League's Rule Book, titled Fouls to Prevent Score. It states, the defense shall not commit successive or repeated fouls to prevent a score. If the violation is repeated after a warning, the score involved is awarded to the offensive team. So here's another article. Chiefs seek rare company with a third consecutive title. Oh, this is a little bit of history. The most recent team to win 3 straight championships was the Lakers. Oh, switching sports here. Oh, it hasn't been accomplished in the NFL, NBA, NHL, or MLB in more than 20 years. Only 2 NFL teams have ever won 3 straight championships, with Green Bay doing it in 1929 and the Packers in 66. Oakland Athletics did it 72. Montreal Canadiens 76. New York Islanders 1980. Chicago Bulls 91 and 96. Yankees 98 and the Lakers 2000. A lot of Warriors news. There's the weather. And the date book and paper has gotten spoiled. 60 over 60. Eagles. There's an article called the headline, Eagles build playoff run out of 2023 ashes. The Eagles were indeed flying high as the best in the NFL, boasting a 10-1 record with a number 1 seed, home field advantage in the playoffs, and yes, a Super Bowl ring, all ahead as credible goals. This season, on the way to the Super Bowl on February 9th, in a rematch from 2 years ago against Kansas City, 2023, when Coach Nick Sirianni and quarterback Jalen Hurts' run at a Super Bowl instead turned into one of the more epic meltdowns in Philly sports history. The Eagles were 10-1 until they were clobbered by San Francisco at home by 23 points in an NFC Championship game rematch. Dallas beat the Eagles by 20 points the next week, and the losses and finger-pointing snowballed from there. The Eagles limped to a 1-5 regular season finish before they were put out of their misery in wild-card loss to Tampa Bay. Sirianni was on the hot seat despite 3 playoff appearances and a Super Bowl trip in 3 seasons. Changes were mandated, from the assistants to the game plan, to drafting, to repairing the loose connective tissue inside the locker room. The harsh lessons learned from last season fueled the Eagles on their way to a 14-win regular season and 3 more wins in the playoffs. Let's see. The players have to play well to play great defense. So it's a combination of what Vic does and how he motivates the guys to get them to play the highest level they can, Sirianni said. I've got a ton of respect for him, and I'm sure glad he's here. He's talking about Vic. Vic Fangio. 66-year-old Vic Fangio. He's running the defense. He's made it the top-rated one in the league. The defense has allowed 10, 22, and 23 points and has 10 takeaways. So they made some changes. I think that's the only football story in this issue. Grammys were last night, but we didn't watch. And then this is from Saturday. There wasn't anything in yesterday's paper. Surprising. Chiefs aiming for another rematch sweep. There's Jeff, Jalen Hurts, and Patrick. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs keep finding themselves on one side of a Super Bowl rematch. A year after beating the 49ers for a second time in 5 seasons, Mahomes and the Chiefs will square off against the Eagles for the second Super Bowl in the past 3 seasons. Kansas City won the first meeting in Glendale, Arizona, and will try to pull off another sweep. This is a great football team that we're playing, Mahomes said. They're great on offense, they're great on defense, and special teams. We played them in a close Super Bowl a couple of years ago, but they've added players and have gotten even better, Mahomes said. It will take our best football to win. More than 40 players who participated in that nail-biter 2 years ago are projected to be on the field next week, including stars like Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Chris Jones for Kansas City, and Jalen Hurts, Lane Johnson, and A.J. Brown for the Eagles. Many played big roles in the last Super Bowl meeting. Hurts rushed for 3 TDs and threw a 45-yard scoring strike to Brown, while Mahomes threw 3 touchdown passes, including one to Kelce. Nick Bolton returned a fumble for a touchdown, and Harrison Butker kicked the game-winning field goal with 8 seconds left. There have only been 9 Super Bowl rematches in the previous 58 games, with just 4 happening in the 5-year span before this rematch. Here's a look at the other times there was a Super Bowl rematch within 5 seasons. Chiefs, 49ers, Giants, Patriots, Cowboys, Bills, and Steelers versus the Cowboys. This is the one, that's the one that's on the TV now. Chiefs versus 49ers. Let's read that song. Mahomes rallied Kansas City from a 10-point deficit in the fourth quarter for a 31-20 win in Super Bowl 54, with his biggest play being a 44-yard pass on 3rd 15 to Tyreek Hill that sparked the comeback. The 49ers kept it even closer last season in a back-and-forth game that featured 3 go-ahead scoring drives led by quarterback Brock Purdy. Of course, in this one it was I totally blanked on his name. He went to the Raiders. Jimmy Garoppolo. This is Garoppolo. And this is Brock Purdy. Fourth quarter of overtime, but it was enough to topple Mahomes. Mahomes engineered 2 late game-tying field goal drives in regulation. He then took advantage of Niners coach Kyle Shanahan's decision to start overtime with the ball by responding to a field goal by the Niners with a walk-off 3-yard touchdown pass to McCole Hardman for Kansas City's 3rd title in this run. So Patrick Mahomes is pretty incredible. I've heard him considered like the best NFL player was the first Super Bowl played? Answer, 1967. Which teams won the most? Pittsburgh Steelers at 6 wins. Once again, remember this is a few years old, this book. Touchdown is worth how many points? Of course, it is a little bit of a trick question because it's really only 6. I spent most of my life thinking it was 7. Because there's opportunity for an extra point, which most people get, so it's usually 7, but it's actually only 6. Who gave the Super Bowl its name? Lamar Hunt. How long is standard field? I do not know that. 100 yards, or 91.4 meters. Well, 100 yards. That's a nice, easy round number to remember. I should know. How much does it cost to 30-second commercial? That's really irrelevant. But anyway, everyone's interested in the commercials. About $5 million. So that was in, what did I say, 2021? So now it's probably 6 million. Let's see, how many wildcard teams? This says 2 from each conference. Oh wait, come from each conference. So that would be 8. No, I think it's 8 now, and it was 4. I'm so confused. You can tell me in the comments I'm confused about that. Okay, because I think it changed. Or was that college that changed? College football changed to add more teams into the playoffs so that they ended up going later into this, later than they usually do. Into January, and so then there was like the college playoffs going on at the same time as the NFL playoffs, and the radio pundits were all like, we don't like this, nobody's paying attention to college. Anyway, so maybe this hasn't changed. Which 2 cities have hosted the most Super Bowls? Miami and New Orleans. It's going to add one more to their belt this Sunday. 3 main women's football leagues. I didn't even know there was 3 main women football leagues. We've got the USWFL, the IWFL, and the WFA. Alright. Which team has the NFL's only perfect season record? Which I assume that means they won every single game. Right? It is the Miami Dolphins. And if you know what year they did it, you get extra credit. Do you know what year? 1972. So if anybody got all of these right, it's the honor system now. Tell me in the comments, and you will get a special prize. Okay. And if you get the extra credit, let me know that too. Alright, so I hope that was okay. I know sometimes the newspaper can be like too loud versus the voice too soft. It's hard to get the balance of the sound right. But I'm not a super knowledgeable person about football, so I have to rely on books and newspapers and magazines, etc. Listen to the sports radio a lot. I can't take the regular news anymore, so I just have the sports Football Conference. Can you name all the teams? Let's see if you can do it. East. Did you do it? Patriots, Jets, Bills, Dolphins. AFC North. Bengals, Steelers, Ravens, Browns. South. Texans, Colts, Jaguars, Titans. And the West. Broncos, Chiefs, Raiders, and Chargers. Oakland Raiders now, of course, Las Vegas. And then we've got the NFC. We've got the East, Redskins. Now they've changed. They're now the not Commodores. Commanders. Eagles, Giants, Cowboys. North is the Vikings, Packers, Lions and Bears. Oh my. South, Panthers, Falcons, Saints, and Buccaneers. The New Orleans Saints now, they must feel bad because they're hosting the game, but they don't get to play in it. The West is the Cardinals, the Seahawks, the Rams, and the 49ers. Did you know all of those? That's pretty good. This is about how you qualify to play. Team uniforms. Home teams in the NFL often wear dark jerseys. The visiting team often wears a white jersey. I did not know that. Many NFL teams have a third jersey that can only be worn twice a year. To mark a special moment in the history of the franchise, NFL teams can wear a throwback or historical jersey. Jersey numbers are important in football. They help officials keep track of where players are on the field. Oh, this is interesting. Quarterbacks can only wear numbers 1 through 19. Running backs 20 through 49. Centers 50 through 79. Offensive guards and tackles 60 through 79. There's something goofy there. That can't be right. 53. That's weird. I don't understand that. Wide receivers 10 through 19 and 80 through 89. Tight ends 40 through 49 and 80 through 89. Defensive linemen 50 through 79 and 90 through 99. And linebackers 40 through 59 and 90. Well, now, does that make any sense? There's so many overlaps. So all right, there's so many overlaps, and then by looking at a number, it could be 2 or 3 different positions. Maybe there aren't enough numbers to give every group 10. Group of 10. You'd have to go into the hundreds. They don't want to start giving players numbers in the hundreds. Like, no, there's number 179 there, because they won't fit on the jerseys. Well, if you knew that, if anybody knew that, then you could win like a Cadillac, because that's incredible. Here is a field zone, goal post, goal line, hash marks, the team bench. They even have a little label for the team bench. This is for kids, remember, so you know it's a little simpler. Players on the team. Alright, this is some basics for those of you who just want to review. A football team has an offensive team and a defensive team. Each team has 11 players. The offensive linemen protect the quarterback. The quarterback calls the plays and passes or hands the ball to a teammate. Usually. Sometimes they run themselves. Not as common. The running backs and fullbacks run, block, and catch the ball. The tight end and wide receivers catch passes. The defensive linemen attack the opposing team's quarterback. Linebackers try to stop the other team from rushing or running with the football. Cornerbacks and safeties try to stop the opposition from catching passes and scoring touchdowns. So there it is in a nutshell. I tried to learn this just by watching the games, and this helps a lot because there's a lot going on. The basic rules, the game, rules of moving the ball, the clock, line of scrimmage, scoring, and then officials making the calls. The two clocks are the play clock and the game clock. The line of scrimmage is an invisible line running the width of the field. The ball is placed on this line until the offense initiates play. At the snap of the ball, there must be at least 7 offensive players on the line of scrimmage. I did not know that. Players not on the line of scrimmage must be at least 1 yard behind it. If a player moves before the snap of the ball, a penalty is called. I didn't know that. I should really read this book. I think I'll learn a lot. So a bit of history. Before it was called the Super Bowl, it was known as the AFL-NFL World Championship Games. Just a mouthful. Vince Lombardi and the Green Bay Packers dominated these games. There's Joe Namath, the New York Jets. He used to do razor or shaving cream commercials. For many years, the NFL was the only professional league. In 1960, the American Football League was formed with 8 teams. AFL introduced new rules such as the 2-point conversion. The AFL had a major television contract. They competed with each other for players and fans for much of the 60s. In 1966, it was announced that the AFL and NFL would combine into a single league, which that took place in 1970. The first game, the championship game, was 1967. The Green Bay Packers defeated the Kansas City Chiefs at Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. So, the Chiefs, way back, very first time they won. I mean, they lost, but they were in it. They're in the first official Super Bowl. average ticket in the 60s cost $12. Today, an average ticket costs between $3,000 and $4,500. And this is, again, like 3 or 4 years ago. Now, is that absurd or is that absurd? Right. What is the percentage increase as compared to the rate of inflation? Like 5,000% or something. Something is amiss there. So that is all for today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And who do you think is going to win on Sunday? And who are you rooting for? Who are you rooting for? Who do you think is going to win? Which, hopefully those are the same. But I know they're not always the same. I never root against my favorite teams. That's just, or I don't mean that. I mean, I never guess that the other team's going to win. I always guess my team's going to win. Because I think it's bad luck. But my team is 49ers and they're not playing. So out of the two teams, I kind of want the Chiefs to win because I like Patrick Mahomes. I think he's a good guy from what I've seen of him on TV and interviews and stuff. And yeah, it would just be nice to kind of make that history too. So, and I don't have any ties with the Phillies or anything like that. So let me know your thoughts, etc. And hope you watched the game. Hope you enjoyed the